Good morning. Good morning. Coming on the set today. Just feeling good today, man. I ain't feeling the greatest, but it could have been worse. Let's talk about rehab. Rehab. What is rehab? Rehab comes in so many different forms. Talk about your leg. Okay, let's say you hurt your leg. You got to rehab, rehabilitate. I can remember I had a stroke and they start talking about rehabbing. That rehabilitate your speech, and you're gonna have to go through rehabilitation. Your arm, you're gonna have to rehab it to get it back going. It ain't working right. So what they basically saying to me, what I interpreted out of it, is you're gonna have to rehab your mind. Until you rehab and rehabilitate your mind, you're going to have a lot of situations. So you really rehabilitate your mind, it'll stop a lot of your different problems with your body. So, if your mind ain't connected with your body, it's mind and power and body all one. Exercise, mind, body, and power, and spiritual. So you don't just exercise your body, you exercise your mind too. That's all together. You rehab your body, rehab your mind, you rehabilitate your mind, rehabilitate your body. So that you can cover so many different subjects with rehabilitation. So what are you doing today? Are you rehabilitating your body? Are you rehabilitating your mind? Are you rehabilitating your relationship? What is it you're trying to rehabilitate? That's a very important question when you stop and think about it, because, us as people, sometimes we don't really stop and meditate to rehabilitate. Sometimes you have to just sit quietly and talk to yourself sometimes, and God will speak to you once you be quiet and let God speak sometimes. Let God have the final word sometimes. Sometimes we're so busy moving around, jumping around, and thinking we're so busy going in a hurry, going nowhere fast. And that's, a lot of us do that. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. Moving too fast in a hurry, going nowhere. So what are you trying to get today? What are you trying to rehabilitate today? Are you trying to rehabilitate your heart? You got your mind you can rehabilitate. You got your body you can rehabilitate. If it's your legs having problems, you need to rehab it. So what that's telling you, you're going to have to put some work in. You have to go through rehab. Rehab. If your mind going through something, they're going to send you to a rehab place to help you get it. You get out of prison, you're going to have to go to rehab. They got a saying that, okay, you don't have to go back to rehab. You got an alcohol problem, man, you're going to have to go back and rehabilitate yourself. You got a sports injury, you hurt your leg or something, you got to go and rehabilitate that. So, rehabilitation, construction, destruction in your mind, body. That's where disease come from, because you ain't meditating and you ain't trying to rehabilitate. You stop and think, if you disconnect something, I want you to tell me what happened. You disconnect, let's say you disconnect your lights. You can't get no TV. You can't iron your clothes. Some houses got just electrical stove. You can't use your electricity. All the amenities that you love to use, you can't use none of that with a disconnect. Let's say if you disconnect, say your water. Now you can't take a shower. You can't cook food because you need water to clean your food before you cook. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff. Disconnect. That's what I talk about a little bit of disconnect. You know, stop and think about a tree. That's a tree. It's a foundation. It's a tree. It's got long, deep roots off in the ground, and they grow big and tall, and it got limbs. Then it got leaves on it. But stop and think about when the leaves connect. When they disconnect, they die, they wither. Think about when a tree branch is disconnected. No more life in it, it's gonna die. That branch ain't no more good no more. That branch is gonna fall off, rot off and fall off sooner or later. It's not connected. But as long as it's connected to the main source, that tree, it will live. So we gotta connect more with God. We got to stay to the source, to the power up high. So you understand what disconnect is. Disconnect and rehabilitate. Rehabilitate your mind where you can stay connected with who you're supposed to stay connected with. That's the man high and mighty. Now you can connect to a lot of different stuff because you still need, even if, let's say your car go down. Sometimes your car go down, your battery, you need a boost. Somebody got to connect some cables to boost it again and get it back going again. That don't saying that you're not okay, that you're no good no more. Nobody gonna throw you away because you need some help. Sometimes you need to reconnect. Even though you got a big vessel that's still running, sometimes you get drained. Your battery low. You just don't have the energy that you thought you was gonna have today. So, by you going to get that boost, that connect with something that's got live juice running through it, it crank you back up. That's why you have to recharge your battery in your cell phone. You have to recharge. You have to recharge yourself. So, how you recharge yourself? How do you recharge yourself? You go and you get back to the source again. And it's me. I'm hearing myself saying it. This is a great message for me this morning. I didn't even know what I was going to say this morning when I got on here. But it's telling me something. It's God speaking back to me. You're going to have to recharge. Recharge yourself, David. Reconnect. You want lights and all this stuff going on in your life? Connect back with me. I'll give it back to you. All the money that you had, that you lost now, reconnect with me. I'm the source. I will turn all that back on. Ooh, it's a great message this morning. I love it. It's a great message. So I will rehabilitate you. That's what God's saying. I'll rehabilitate you. Come back to me. I'll rehabilitate you. Everything that I gave you, I'll give it back to you. I'll give you another boost. I know you're lost right now. You still good. You still my child. But let me boost you again. Let me get you back going again. That way you can turn your radio back on in your car. Now you got to charge again. That way you can turn your cell phone back on. You can connect it, reconnect it again to the source. To the source. So all the computers and all the camera and everything that's on that cell phone, when it's not charged and the battery go down, you can't use it. You cannot use nothing. You can't use your car. If you take your battery out of it, you can't use your car. You can't use it. You can't use an airplane if it ain't got batteries to crank up and get back in the sky and gas back up and charge back up. You can't use it. So we got to go back and reconnect, man. We got to reconnect and rehab and rehabilitate ourselves again, re-innovate ourselves. If you want to reinvent yourself, you're going to have to go back. It's the same thing. We're running everywhere else trying to find all these answers, man, and the answer is God. You go back to God and reconnect. That's what you got to do. Reconnect back with God and He'll give it back to you. So I'm hearing this message myself because it's a strong message. I feel it going through my body right now. This is a real message right now. I'm looking for everything in all the wrong places, and I need to go right back to God and get back on my knees and get myself back together. I'm trying to get reconnected and get back recharged. But I'm going all the wrong ways to do it. You know? You trying to go to Dallas from Houston, you got to get on 45 and go north. Now, there might be another way you can go, but the quickest way to travel between two distances is a straight line. So we all know prayer is the key. So why are we all picking on the lock? That's crazy. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Boy, come on. Talking to myself today, boy. I'm talking to myself. That's serious, man. Reconnect, rededicate, rehab yourself, regulate your mind, regulate your heart again. Get yourself back together, man. That's definitely a message real quick. Definitely needed to hear that message myself. I'm glad I said it. I'm glad I got back over here again and got back in front of this camera again, because it's really showing me and teaching me something and saying something to me that I needed to hear. Like I say, you sit back and you negotiate with yourself, and you negotiate with everything. You negotiate on a house, you negotiate on your car. Go back and get with God and talk to him. You want to negotiate, go. You can't negotiate with God, but you can go and talk to him. Tell him what you do want. You can go back and reconnect with him. You got to go back through the power. The power, that's the source again. You got to go back and reconnect. Regulate. Invent yourself again. But you got to go back to God. You got to go back. There ain't no other way to do it. You try to do it all kind of different ways. Like they say, you know, it's so many different ways. You can do so many different things, but to put your pants on, if they already made, it's one way to put them on. You can't put them on the other way. You got to put one leg, one foot in front, inside that leg, and put the other pants leg on, and you put them back on. So it's one way. So we all know it's just one way to do this, and we keep trying to find other ways to do it. God loves us so much, you know. He wants to take care of his kids. So, you know, that's crazy when you stop and think about it. When you stop and really ask yourself some questions sometimes, we find our greatest answers within ourselves, but we try to flee back from them. We know what they are. We know what we're supposed to do. So we just need to do it. So I come with this message real quick. I didn't know where I was going with the message, but I'm glad I said what I said. That way I can hear it over and over and over. And I can minister it to myself again in my heart. And I can go on and speak more thoughts and more conversations into this area. And, you know, as a kid, I was always told that I was going to be a man of God, and God was going to take me some places. I'll be speaking in front of millions of people, you know, because you got to spread the word. And, you know, I've been running for a long time. It's time to stop running and get back to the source. So I'm on my way back to the source, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. On my way back. I want to be reconnected. I want to be rehabbed. I need the power. I need the juice back. I need my phone back on. I need all this back on. I got to go back and get reconnected and get back recharged again. That's pretty much it. Thank you for listening.